Alrighty guys, so hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Rogers. I am your 1-star platinum with Rising Tide Archer and Evolution. I am super excited today. We are going to be going over Funjet group bookings. This is really cool. Group bookings is a great way to earn a big chunk of commissions at one time, and it's actually a really kind of easy process. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to use one of my group bookings as an example so you guys can actually see and put it into formation what it is exactly the process that you need to be doing. Okay, so let's get going here. Okay, so first and foremost, what qualifies as a group booking? That is a huge thing, and I think a lot of it's kind of a misconception. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that right away. So group bookings are going to be based off the numbers of rooms needed, not necessarily the number of people. So a lot of the times, we'll get travel agents that are like, I have a group of 15 people, I need to do a group booking. Well, that may not qualify you for a group booking. Let's talk about why, okay? So for example, we're gonna be using Funjet for these group bookings when I'm talking about this, okay? So for Funjet, you must need a minimum of 10 rooms to be considered for a group booking contract. For example, okay, you can have 36 people in a group, but if you are at a quad occupancy, meaning 4 people per room, it's going to be 9 rooms total. Therefore, it's not necessarily going to be eligible for group contracts through Funjet, right? So again, another example, you can have 24 people in a group at double occupancy, which means 2 people per room. That's going to put you at a 12-room block, okay? Now, this booking would, in fact, be eligible for a group contract rate through Funjet. So it's really important, guys, whenever you think that you may have a group booking, one of the questions that you need to be asking to be able to qualify your group is not only the amount of people, but the amount of rooms that are going to be needed. You may have a group of 10, but they want to be 5 per room. That's only going to be 2 rooms, right? So it's really, really important when you're qualifying a group to qualify them for a group booking to go through the group contracting pricing. You need to know the number of rooms as well as the number of people, okay? You're going to need at least 10 rooms for Funjet to quote you out and get that group contracting going, okay? Very, very important. That's very huge. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this to remember it or write it down, that's going to be very important because we get a lot of people that think they have a group, but it's not. I mean, it is a group in that it's a group of people going, but it's not going to qualify for Funjet group contracting pricing. Okay, guys, does that make sense to everybody? If you could put a one in the chat box so you guys know, yes, 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 that makes sense. 1, awesome. Thank you, Beverly. 111, yay, yay, yay. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, cool. So, here we go here. So you have a group that qualifies. Now what? Okay, there are going to be some certain questions that you want to ask prior to getting in contact with Funjet group departments. Okay, so first and foremost, you're going to want to narrow down what the group wants before you call Funjet groups department. Okay, what does that mean? What is it that you're going to want to know before you call them? You're going to want to shop what the client's looking for a little bit, all right? So I started off by treating it as a normal singular booking. What do I mean by that? I want to narrow down the resort that they want to go to. I want to narrow down some of the room types that they want quoted. The cool thing about the group contracting department is that you can get multiple rooms quoted. So if the hotel has a junior suite resort view or a junior suite ocean view room, you can get both of those quoted when you're contacting groups. So I always like to let my group contact know, hey, this resort, Dream Resort's awesome. They have a ocean view room, they have a resort view room, and they have a junior suite. What kind of room types do you think your group is going to want? And then from there, I write that down, I narrow it down, and the room types that they want are going to be the room types that I get quoted, okay? Now I'm also going to want to narrow down some of the dates because obviously, as you know, when you're doing a singular booking, the dates matter because certain times of the year are going to cost more than others. So it's going to be really important that you narrow down the dates for your clients, right? So that means you may have to try to work with them to see, maybe they're like, oh, sometime in August. Okay, Well, do you think the beginning of August would work best or the back end of August, right? Help them narrow it down, right? Oh, I can go the first 2 weeks of August. Okay. Now, what you can do is you can shop flights. And what I like to do is shop like Google flights and see what time, what dates are going to be generally least expensive to travel via airfare. And that's kind of like my jump off point. It's not an exact science, but it helps me kind of solidify or kind of narrow down the dates for my clients if they're having a harder time trying to decide what date works best for them. Okay. So after you have that, you need to narrow down also the type of occupancy. Occupancy means, are they a double occupancy, a triple, a quad? And that just means the number of people per room. Now, it's okay to have a mixture, right? So you can have some people going in as a triple, you can have some people going in as a quad, which is 4, or even some people going down as a double, right? But it's going to be important that you know at least what the group is thinking. Maybe you have consistently the majority of them going down as a double. Then you're going to know that you absolutely need that in your quote, and you have a couple that are thinking of doing like a triple, right? So just knowing that is good to know. Okay, so once you have this information down, you're going to call Funjet group departments. Okay, and I put down the number right here for their department. So again, if you want to screenshot this or write this down, now is the time to do so. Their phone number is 800-558-3060. Okay. Oops. And please note that the quote process, it is going to take a couple business days, okay? What happens is when you call Funjet, let's say you have, a resort that you got all this narrowed down, you call Funjet, it's going to take them a couple days because they actually get in touch with the resort for you, which is what I love, right? You actually kind of hand off Funjet the majority of the brunt work for you. So you get some of this stuff done. They're going to go contact the hotel sales department. They're going to get all the contracting stuff. They're going to get all the quote together, and they're going to bring it back to you. But of course, that's going to take them a couple days, especially right now with COVID. It is taking a little bit longer for them to get everything squared away because they are themselves too working from home. So it just takes a little bit longer. So know that up front, because it's very good to always be upfront with your client and realistic as to how long this process is actually going to take. Okay, it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take them a couple of days. Okay. So does everybody have that? Now, what I like to do when I'm narrowing down, let's say your client doesn't really know, you can go into Funjet on Bats and actually play around with pricing. So, you can ask them some qualifying questions to try to get them to narrow down the resort. How much is it? Are you trying to spend per person or per room? Right? So if you know per room what their budget is, then you can go in and you can find a room at a singular level booking that matches what it is they're looking for. And then from there, you can build on that, right? Then they like that rate. Okay, great. They're going to like that resort. That's a resort that you're going to call Funjet with and have all this information to be able to give them the information needed for the quote. Is that all making sense for you guys? Type yes in the chat box. If you guys are having any questions, please, please, please go ahead and let me know. I'm super excited. Wow, we have 70 people on this call. That is a lot of people. That is a lot. Okay, so let's see if the chat box is blowing up. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. I'm sorry I was late. How many rooms qualify for a group? Okay, I'm recording this, guys. I don't want to go over information that we're going over. So if you're late, I'm sorry. It is being recorded, and you'll be able to pick that up at the end when the recording comes out. Okay, very important that you guys be on times. I want to be respectful of everybody's times, right? Okay, so this is an example of what the quote is going to look like, okay? And I'm actually going to exit out of this and go into the actual contracting in just a second. But this is an example, and it can be a lot, right? So for example, you'll see I got a quote for Dreams Los Cabos, right? And it's 10 rooms, okay? So I got 10 rooms at the Junior Ocean Suite rate, and then 2 rooms at the 2-bedroom master suite. So this is what I'm talking about. If your group wants a couple of rooms quoted, you can go ahead and do that now. Understand that this is just a quote. Nothing is solidified at this level. This is just Funjet bringing you back the information so you can relay it to your client, okay? Let's see if there's a question. Okay. So cool. Okay. So as you can see here, I wanted different rooms, right? I wanted different rooms quoted. So we got the junior suite ocean quoted here, and we had the preferred master suite quoted here. Now, because if you see down here, oops. If you see down here at the very bottom, you can see where it says 4 nights, 5 nights, 6 nights, 7 nights, 8 nights, right? Okay, that is because obviously there's a booking window that they give you. So this is the rate at single occupancy, meaning per person, if that person wanted to book one of these rooms for 4 nights, right? Single rate for 5 nights, single rate for 6 nights. And then the next line is double. So double occupancy, that's the price per person if the group wanted to stay 4 nights in the ocean view. This is a group per person if they wanted to stay double occupancy at 5 nights. So what you would do then, right? You would take, let's say that they wanted the 5-night stay and they were all going to book at the double occupancy. So it's going to be 2 people per room. You can break it down as it's going to come back at $699.08 per person, or you can go $699.08 times 2, and that is $1,398.16 per room. Does that make sense how I got that number, guys? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I love this because as you can see, they did it all for me, right? I didn't have to go and say, quote out 4 nights. Okay, now I have to quote out 5 nights. Now I have to quote out 6 nights, right? They did this all for me. So it's really cool that they pretty much do it for you. And then I get just to present this and have a conversation with my client, right? Makes it really easy, and all I had to do was wait like 2 or 3 business days for me to get this information, and they do it all in one nice, neatly organized table, right? Super nice. I really loved it. It was so easy because when my clients toggled over, you know, whether or not they should do 4 or 5 nights, the pricing is really cut clear on that standpoint. So when I was talking numbers with them, it was really easy for me to go back and forth and help them decipher what it is that they wanted. You mentioned you can look at price options in Funjet. How do you do that? I'm not sure what it is you're asking. Like, what do you mean price options? Funjet, when you get the quote back, compare. So if you're not even like, if you're trying to decide what resort they want before you even get to this level, you're just going to go inside that and you're going to look at it from a singular point of view. So you're going to ask them, you know, what kind of budget are you looking at to have per room, right? If it's a group booking and they're like, I want to keep it at, you know, under $1,500 per room, then you're going to want to know, then you're going to look at a singular resort. So you're going to go into Funjet, you're going to look up, you know, and then you see 5 resorts that are under that price per room. Then, you know, you want to start narrowing it down from there, right? It's kind of small. Do those prices include taxes and fees? Yes. This includes taxes, fees, and it also included the cost of transportation to and from the resort. Okay, remember, this is price per person. So if it's 2 people staying at 5 nights, then that room is $699 per person staying in that room. Okay. Is that a better price than a regular rate? Yes. So depending on the size of your group, each hotel is going to give you discounted rates. So I believe this ended up being like it was either a 10 or 15% discount from the regular rate that they could find online for themselves, okay? Yes, this was an all-inclusive resort. I was wondering how we could use that item number when negotiating contracts with the hotel. I'm working on a group which is 400 rooms, so wouldn't really be able to do that through the website. Daniel, I don't know if you've been through here through the whole training. It sounds maybe you joined us a little bit late, but I'm actually walking you through how to do a group contract right now, okay? So if you missed some of it, then you definitely want to catch the replay when I go ahead and post that, okay? Yeah, no problem. I don't want to keep going back on old information for the sake of the people that were here on time. I don't want to regurgitate. So this is being recorded. If you guys are coming in late, then you are going to be able to catch the what you missed on the replay, okay? So if all the rooms don't get filled, will they still get a group rate? Lena, that is a really good question. We're going to go over those kind of stipulations at the contract level, okay? So let's say your group likes this, right? Let's say they're like, okay, we're on board. We're gonna do 5 nights at the Dreams Los Cabos. We're gonna get the sweet ocean view rate, okay? From there, you're gonna actually go back.
There it is. I couldn't get your back on.
You're gonna go.
Did it go on the phone?
You're gonna go back on. Sorry, you're gonna go. And they're actually going to email you, okay? So let me go into my emails because I have a lot of stuff pulled up. Here we go. Let me go ahead and pull up. This was the actual contract that they sent me. So you see this is contracted through Funjet, right? This was my salesman's contact number. Now, every hotel has a different policy on what it takes to secure the booking. For Dreams, what they required in order for them to secure the booking and move it from a quote to an actual booking, they needed a $500 deposit. Now that's $500 for the entire group, one time $500, okay? Sometimes what resorts will do will say it's $50 per person, so then you got to do the math on that. Every hotel is different. There's no one standard uniform deposit rule, so you're going to really have to pay attention when they give you back this this contract, so you can go ahead and see what exactly it is that they need, okay? You'll see that the deposit was due on the 8th of August, and the final payment was due on August the 18th. This group got to me rather late, and so their payment was pretty much due back to back, okay? Okay, so you're gonna see right here, it's going to, again, that group block that I just showed you, right? So what I really also like about, you'll see here, rates are above, they are gross per person and include hotel taxes, transfers included in the rate. So it's very important, guys, when you get this from Funjet, you really want to take your time and read what it is included, right? So travel protection is not included, but they go ahead and they tell you, you know, if you want to add travel protection. And I'll tell you guys, you are booking it as a group, but I'll go into the Funjet portal and I'll show you. You're actually, once you have the group secured, Funjet actually gives you your own portal, and you are then able to actually book people individually. So that's when people can go ahead and pay on their own, you know, and you can take it up with the individual rather than collecting one massive group payment for the group, right? Okay. So you can see here, the group amenities, right? The booking window. So it's a minimum of 10 rooms and 3 night stay is required. So for Dreams, that is what they consider a group. So you see here, what's really cool is when you start booking at a group contract level, there are a lot of what we call comps or additional amenities that come with the group contract rate. So it's really cool that you can use this to really capitalize on why the group should contact you and go through you for the booking. So for example, when I was contacting my group connection, I told them, look, when you book the contract, when you book the group rate through me, not only are you getting that 10 to 15% group rate discount, but I'm going to be able to throw in some additional comps when you book with me. What are those additional comps? Now, again, this is going to be different for every single resort. Okay, guys, let me go grab some water. So there's no one uniform, but this is why you want to go ahead and read what it is the hotel brings you back, okay? So you can see here, this group received a welcome cocktail party. Well, this is for this was for weddings, okay. So they were a social group, here it is, okay. Plus with 10 or more rooms, okay, so they got one cocktail party, okay? So I was able to give them their own private cocktail party, okay? I was able to give them a semi-private group dinner, okay? So this is really cool because this is an additional comp. This is included in the rate that they're paying with you. It's really cool. I really broadcast this as a incentive that they get through me, okay? They get one private cocktail hour for their entire group, and they get one semi-private dinner for the group. That just means in their restaurant, they have like a blocked off section. It's their table. It's all pre-set up for their group, okay? It's not a complete private dining room, but it's usually like half of it depending on how your group is, right? They block it off for just the group, okay? Now, another additional comp is you'll see here season details. And they're actually giving every 6th or 7th or 5th room off. Now, this is dependent on the season, meaning this is dependent based off the time of year that you book with them. Everyone knows in tourism, depending on where in the country or where in the world you're booking people, every section, every country has their own high and low season, right? So depending on what season they're getting booked in at, and they're going to tell you mid-season is January, April, right? Depending on what season you're booking in, you can actually get complimentary rooms. So for every 5 rooms that you book, you get 1 room that's complimentary, okay? For every 5 rooms that you book, you get a complimentary upgrade, okay, guys? Again, this is going to be different depending on the season that you book and depending on the actual hotel. Every hotel is going to give out different amenities for your group, okay? Yes, Mapaz, I already answered that, so that's going to be at the beginning of the recording, okay? How do you find out what comps do you get with different hotels in order to promote? So Ariana, I don't know what I get until I get the actual group, right? So if if you're trying to get a group booking, what you can do is you can actually go into, because remember, you can get a quote from Funjet. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not locked into anything with the group, with the quote. So you can go in and find a mock booking. Like, let's say you really like Dreams Resort. So find a dream resort that you want to go ahead and promote a group booking with, and call Funjet. Tell them, look, I have a group of 12 rooms, right? Pretend it's like a mock booking, but you're doing it at a group level. They're going to send you this information, and then you can take this to use it and promote it, right? You're not locked into anything. Let me give my dog some water. Sorry, my dog is very spoiled. So you're not locked into anything until you actually put down the money and give them the money for the deposit. It's at a quote level up until that point, okay? Awesome. What page of the quote that they emailed you do you forward to your client? That's a good question. Dogs are too spoiled. There's other groups, Janie, that you can do group contracting with. I just have the most experience with Funjet, so that is what I'm choosing this to be on, okay? Okay, so Kathy asked a good question. What page of the quote is it that you email to forward to your client? Now, I will tell you guys, I never forward any piece of paper that is directly from any vendor that I'm using. So whether it's from Funjet, Disney, Carnival, I always take that information, put it on a separate document without all of their branding, because remember, when you are the travel agent, you are the vendor as far as your client's concerned, right? They're going through you to get the booking done. So what happened? What did I do, right? What if I have a wedding group? Should I ask specifically? Yes, so Chris, that's a good question. So if you see here, if you have a wedding group, they're going to ask you, when you call in for the quote, they're going to ask you, is this a social group? Is this a wedding? And then you'll just tell them, right? Because you'll see up here for the group amenities, this was a complimentary cocktail party for your wedding couple, right? So they do have different amenities depending on what kind of group it is. So that's one of the questions they will ask you. And a social group pretty much just means anything that's not a wedding. So, you know, whether it's a family reunion, you know, a group, a girls trip, you know, those are all considered social groups. But if you specifically have a wedding group, then you will want to tell them that up front, because they will give you different kind of amenities for that wedding group. That's a good question. Okay, so what do I give my client? Let's say my client loves this and they're like, okay, great, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. I wanna go ahead and put down the deposit. Now, there are gonna be two things that happen, okay? First and foremost, Funjet is going to ask you to sign this agreement, okay? Because you're not using Archer, you're doing it yourself, so it's a contract between you and Funjet, okay? So you'll see here at the bottom of every page, those are my initials. I initialed everything. Now, before I initialed and sent this off to the group, I wanted to make sure that my client agreed to the terms first, okay? So how did I do that? You'll see here also too, aside from the amenities, it's going to talk about the deposit, their deposit policy, and you'll actually see here too, right? So groups up to 40 and 80 rooms, it's going to be a 16 to 19% inventory. Someone is drawing on my screen. Please don't do that. Okay. It's going to be a 16 to 19 inventory. All right. A 25 group room is going to be up to 10% inventory, right? So they actually have that, all that stipulated there. You can see that. You can see here if they wanted flights, it would be a $50 deposit per flight, per person for the flights. And you can see here a lot of this. This is very important. I'm not, for the sake of not being a 3-hour long training, I'm just going to tell you that you are going to want to read all of this stuff, because it is going to tell you all of the cancellation policies and all of that, okay? So you see here I had to sign. So what I basically did, right? What I basically did is I went ahead and, hold on, let me just see what we're getting here for questions. Yes. Okay, how do we make sure that we're covered, confirming the client agrees? So I don't sign, yes, no, so this is you, yes, you are a Archer travel agent, but this is how I'm teaching you guys how to do. So if you want to do group bookings directly through Archer, Archer's going to take 50% of that commission, okay? I'm teaching you guys how to do the group booking so that you keep your 80% commission, okay? If you're not comfortable doing that, you are more than welcome to call Archer and they will handle the group booking for you, but they will take 50% of the commission, okay? Yes, everything's still under Archer's IATA. Everything is still under Archer. You are just handling this instead of giving this to Archer, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Do you book the flight separately from the hotel? You can choose to get the quote with the flight so that it's all done with the flight and hotel, or you can choose to do it separately. My client had already booked the flight, so I just did their group booking with the hotel, okay? Okay, so the question came up, how do you sign this before, you know, to make sure your client, so I don't sign this until my client agrees. So what do I do, right? You'll see here, this, I took pretty much everything that the hotel gave me and I made it into my own document. And you guys, what I really did is I just copied and pasted, okay? I just copied and pasted. I just took out a lot of the Funjet branding because, again, I wanted it to come from me. So you'll see here, I copied and pasted. I told them what the deposit, let me make this bigger because that's really small. I made this, you know, this was their travel dates. This is a land-only travel. So I did the deposit and when the final group was right. And this is all copied and pasted, guys. I didn't do anything special. I copied and pasted exactly what it was. And I was just giving them the information. Again, all I did was take away the Funjet branding, okay? You see here, I gave them the supplier promotions. I give them their mid-season traveling. So I just put the mid-season in. and I gave them the terms, right? Again, and I also, obviously, I put in the cancellation policy there, right? So this is all there for them to agree to. And then what I did is, this is a credit card authorization form, which obviously we all have access to in the back office. So for them to agree to that, I gave them all, this is all one PDF document, okay? If they agreed to it, what they did is they went ahead and they put down the $500 deposit, which is what was due to go ahead and contract this group. You know, I pre-fill out a lot of it for them, but obviously, this is my information, and then they fill out their information. Once I have this back, you'll see that this is Archer Travel Group, right? This is a form provided to you by the independent travel agent affiliated with Archer Travel, right? So I'm still doing everything under Archer. I'm just handling this so I can get the 80% commission instead of getting 50% commission, okay? So once they give this back to me, then I went ahead and I signed this because I knew, oh, it exit out, okay. Then I knew that my group was ready, right? They were agreeing to the terms, so now I'm going to agree to the terms with Funjet. Does that make sense? I didn't sign the contract with Funjet until my group contract agreed to the terms, okay, guys? So once they paid for the deposit, what I did is I wrote up a, oops, yes. I think I lost it. Oops, hold on, sorry. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so once they went ahead and they paid for the deposit, then I just did a simple deposit receipt, guys. Literally, I went on Word and I Googled or I typed in like deposit receipt, and this template came up. I just had to put in my information, I just had to put in my information and their information, and bada bing, bada boom, I provided my group with their group deposit receipt, okay? So is that making sense for everybody right now so far? Yes? Yes, yes, okay. Awesome, okay. So let's say you have, so now you have the group, they put the deposit down, now you're ready to start booking individually. I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like from the inside out, okay? So from here, remember, you book them, you get the deposit book so you can secure the group booking, okay? Now what's gonna happen is Funjet's gonna email you. They're gonna email you your group number, and they're going to make a portal for you to be able to log in. Again, guys, remember, this is all gonna take a couple days in between each step. So make sure you are upfront with your client, let them know from the quote, from getting the quote to signing and getting the contract and the group portal ready. That's going to take probably about 4 to 5 business days, okay? So Funjet's gonna give you a group number, right? So you're gonna take that group number, you're gonna go to Funjet, and you go to hit groups, and you're gonna put in that group ID, right? And you're gonna retrieve the group. What's cool about Funjet is now you have your own booking portal just for the group. Is that not awesome? So you don't have to worry about messing anything up at this point. They have the resort that you contracted with. That's all you're going to be able to book, and they have it all done for you, okay? That's really cool, right? So now what you can do is you can go in on an individual basis, and you'll see here, I was able to go ahead and book everybody individually. You see that? You see how that's all individually booked? But it's in my group portal. So I'm booking it, I secure the contract at the group level, Funjet makes me a portal, and I'm able to go ahead and handle each reservation separately. This is really cool because some people may or may not want travel protection. Some people might want the full credit option. Some people may want the full refund cash option, right? This is where you're still able to keep it on an individual basis, and you don't have to worry about that one massive group payment, right? Each person for their room pays for their room. Does that make sense to you guys? So for example, now this reservation's already gone and passed, so I don't know if I'll be able, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go look back. But what you would do is you would go right here, your contracted group. So they wanted only the hotel, right? Then you would just pick the dates that they were going. Obviously, the dates, you know, were for a certain time. You know, it was departure date of the 22nd to the 27th, right? So you put 27th to 22nd, and then it brings you, if you guys have ever booked in Vax, it's going to look very much like the checkout page of an individual booking. And then you just handle the booking on an individual basis, okay? Do you call each person when you're paying for their stay? Yes, I went ahead and I made contact. Well, okay. The main group contact, she paid, I think, for 5 of the rooms. So I used, you know, obviously I was contacting her for those 5 reservations. But you have to make sure, obviously, you're getting everybody's passport pictures, because it's an international travel, so you want to make sure that you're spelling everybody's names correctly. So yeah, you do want to contact everybody on an individual basis. So what is cool about this is you can actually add more rooms prior. Like, let's say this happened to me in this group. Somebody wanted to add on last minute, right? They like weren't sure at the beginning, but they were like on. So I was able to actually add a room. What you just have to do with that is, you see how up here you have a VIP team that's assigned to you. You can call them, or you can email that group VIP team for Funjet, and you can just request it, and they'll go ahead and they'll add it to your block, your inventory block, and then you can go ahead and book it once it's added to your inventory, okay? Now, depending on how far out this group books, right, it's still the same. So like when you're doing an individual booking, you know, typically when the group is, when the person tries to book a room that's 60 or 90 days out before travel, typically it's all going to be due up front. The same thing applies, right? And your contract will have those dates for you, you know. And there was a question on here earlier that said, do you get penalized if the group doesn't book all of their rooms? Like, what happens? So in your contract, you're also going to have a date that you can actually, any unused rooms, you just have to, again, you contact your VIP team and you just tell them, hey, I have, you know, 12 out of the 10 rooms booked. There's going to be 2 rooms that they're not going to book it. Go ahead and release it. So long as you release it before the final penalty date, they will release it without any penalty to you, okay, or the group, I should say. Now, if you release it after that, then the group typically will have a penalty date. So you'll see here that happened. I had somebody that canceled last minute, and so they actually still had to pay the group, but I also got a last minute person that added, so that actually canceled out the penalty, okay? This group was booked very close to the time that they were going to travel. So everybody that was booking, they had to pay up front. So they had to pay the full $1,400, okay? Now, if you get a group that's paid, you know, maybe you get a wedding group and they're booking something 6 months in advance, each person should have the ability to put down a deposit, and they have a due date of which that booking is paid for in full, okay? Now, how long does it take to receive the commission? What's cool, guys, is you can see my commission. You can see that they paid it all. So you go to the commission, actually you go to inventory. What's really cool here, guys, is this is the inventory, so that you'll see that I got all the rooms booked, right? There is 0 available. There is a total of 40 nights booked, okay? Now what's cool, and then I had the preferred master suite here. So there's 2, I booked for 2 different room types. What's cool here is you'll see the commission I made for every single room. 207, 207, 207, 207. The master suite was good because that was a $928 commission for just that one room. Okay, so you'll see here that the commission total payout was $2,548. Woo! I was super happy, right? That's a lot. This is why I love group bookings, because you can see here really, Funjet does a lot of the work for you, right? They set up the room block for you. They set up the portal. They make it super easy, right? And all I'm really doing, once I get the logistics of it set up, I'm really just going in there and just applying payment like an individual booking. That's really all it is. Really, all you're really doing in the big scheme of it, you're reserving a block, and you're just booking based off that block, okay? And what's cool is you get a good sum of commissions, right? That's super good, right? Chris says you need to do a group cruise booking. Yes, I can do that next. That will be my next training. So that's really cool, right? So of course, as a booking agent, I walked away with 80% of the 2.5. How cool is that, right? That's a big chunk. I'm actually getting paid this at the end of December. They traveled at the very end of October. Archer got paid out in November, so I'm getting paid out December 31st or whatever the last business day of the month is. I'll be getting paid. So that's kind of a nice little, that's a nice chunk of commission, right? Because obviously I'm a 1-star, I'm getting that nice hefty residual, and then I'm gonna be getting that nice hefty commission. It's just one booking, really, that's all it is. It's just one booking, but it's a group booking, so it's paying me out a lot of commission at one time. So does that make sense for everybody? Yes, nice way to start the new year. Is everybody seeing how kind of easy it is when you break this down on an individual level? How easy it is. If they throw in comped rooms, do those rooms count towards the overall booked rooms? Such as you block 10 rooms, they comp 2 rooms, do you still need to book the 10 rooms? Yes, so the comp rooms count, Kathy, and sometimes depending on what it is. So for example, for me, I think I got out of this group, I got 1 comped room. So it's still counted as a room. What happened was you can do 2 things, okay? You can treat a comped room. You can either tuck that in your pocket and earn that as extra commission, or you can give the person that gave you the group booking. So for me, it was this group right here, Kelly. She was the group contract. My group, I guess VIP. I gave her that credit. So because she paid for 5 people, she got 1 room put back on her credit card, if that makes sense. Jody, how nervous were you the first time you did a group booking? I was really nervous, not gonna lie. Like I'm a person that like I'll go ahead and do it, but that doesn't mean like I'm human. I get nervous. But Funjet was really great, guys. They answered a lot of my questions, and believe me, I'm one of those people where I will hit Funjet with 30 questions, and I'm like, you're not getting off the phone until you answer all of my questions. I'm just that way. You ask Nikki, you ask Charles, you ask anybody that I work with, I ask a lot of questions. But that's just how I am. You're not going to get the answers unless you ask the questions, right? So this was really cool. And now that I have this under my belt, like it's easier just going forward. I know what to do, right? So it makes it less definitely knowing this group process made it a lot less intimidating to me, right? So I know a lot of you guys were asking, like, how do I book a group? I'm hoping that this helped you guys. This is recorded, so you guys are going to be able to have access for you. So when they get the complimentary rooms, is it for the next time or for the current trip? It's for the current trip. So they were getting, so what happens is they get a comp back. So my person was actually able to get their $500 deposit back once this group was paid for in full, and whatever the promo was that the resort gave them. So this promo, this amount of rooms landed them 1 complimentary room. So once all of the accounting is done, then they will go ahead and they will credit back that room. So they'll ask, what credit card do you want this charged back to? And I just gave that money back to my client for, that was my incentive again for booking through me. I told her, you book through me, I'll go ahead, I'll give you a free room, and that's money back in their pocket, okay? I'm now working on a destination wedding. Yeah, Jody. So go ahead, get that resort done. Call Funjet. Let them know you're doing a group wedding contract, and you can go ahead and just the same process, right? So I'm really happy. I'm really excited that I was able to hop on here. There's 56 people on here, so I really hope that you guys got some value out of this. If you did, please, my only favor is to just put it in the group, put it in the Rising Tide Facebook group. Wow, I learned something with the group booking. I learned how to do group bookings, because the more people that plug in, guys, the more people we can help, right? So I really want people to plug into our trainings, get the value, get the help that they need. You know, this is recorded, so please, you know, just put it in Rising Tide. Wow, I learned how to do a group booking today. Thanks, Sarah. And like I said, I am going to have this is recorded. I will be uploading this to our groups. I'm going to make sure that Charles and Nikki get this on Rising Tide 3. And, you know, let's see. How about the next group training be on how to book a group cruise? Would you guys like that group cruise training? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. So that will be my next training I work on for you guys. Thank you so much for plugging in. I appreciate you guys taking the time. You guys could be anywhere, but today, right now, you're here plugging in and getting knowledge on how to grow your business and how to earn super large commissions. So congratulations, guys. I'm super happy. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye. Yeah.